It's been over a week in lockdown. Let's go. I am going partially insane, retracting to my middle school fashion. So in light of me going backwards in age, let's talk about 10 things that I've learned during my first year as an investment banker. Number 1, you ain't shit. To clarify this a little bit, your parents still think you're great. Your friends think you're great. Some of them. You, hopefully, think you're great. What I mean by this is society doesn't think of you as anything. You're a college grad, sure. I'm sure you're smart, great fashion sense, good looking, but you gotta build up your career to be something. A lot of us coming out of college think we're the best. I definitely thought I was the best. But the reality is, at every entry-level position, you're nothing. You don't deserve anything. You have nothing under your belt. You have to build up your career. You have to build up expertise, trust, and that's okay because everyone starts at nothing. The faster you recognize that you are nothing, it's easier to be okay with that fact and be in the learning mode rather than I am too smart for this. I am beyond this. Because even if the actual activity itself may seem stupid at the time, and honestly it probably is, everyone before you took those steps to be where they are now, and they went from nothing to slightly something to the thing that you want to be. So to become the thing that you want to be, you got to start at nothing, and you have to be okay with not being anything. Number 2, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room to move up the ranks. It always helps to be smart. And I would argue most people, if not all people, that move up the ranks in any organization are smart. But you don't have to be the rocket scientist, the genius, the one with constant creative, unbelievable ideas to go up. Society, organizations, corporations value those that are consistent and that have grit. It's people that can put in the hours, that are willing to sacrifice a part of their life for the work, and are showing improvement consistently that do well and move up. Number 3, doing hard work and people thinking / knowing you're doing hard work are different things. You could be doing all the hard work you want, spending hours on something, but if others don't know that you're doing this, it doesn't really count. If a tree falls in the forest and no one heard it, then the tree actually fell. Yes, but no one knows the tree fell. This is a bit different from school. In school, you work super hard, and no matter what, you turn that assignment in. They recognize the hard work. But also kind of like school, you could spend 40 hours of studying but get a B, and someone could spend 5 hours in studying and get an A. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, but that person got an A and you got a B. Work is a step above that. You have to show them that you're spending 40 hours studying, and that might actually affect the grade. Sure, when it comes to quality, it's not solely about the hours put in, but the person's perception of you definitely will change if they recognize that you're putting in the work. Number 4, time questions correctly. In most assignments, especially at the entry level, do a bit of work first. When you hit a wall, ask the question, and then learn from that question asking, and then don't ask the same question again. In the beginning, I struggled a lot with this. Why would I spend 20 minutes on something that you could answer in 0.5 seconds? It's frustrating. It's like if you wanted to know how this lockdown worked, can I go outside? Do I get fined if I go outside? And instead of the enforcers telling you exactly what you have to do, you have to go online and figure it out by reading multiple articles that use unbelievably difficult law language. But on the flip side, put yourself in the person above you's shoes. Someone comes up to you constantly asking, how do I do this? How do I do this? Without any work put on their end, then it becomes also frustrating. And a lot of banking and a lot of any other job is learning to be uncomfortable and learning to put in the hours to find your own solution. So while it might be frustrating at times, it's important to take the 3 steps I just mentioned of putting in the work first, asking a very concise question, along with this is the things that I've done to come to this question, and then learning from that question to not ask the same question again. Number 5, network. I don't even mean outside of the company. Don't be a snake. It's good to constantly increase your network. And I think a lot of times networking gets a bad name, feels sly, you feel like you're reaching out just to get something from the other person. But reality is, all human interactions to an extent is a form of networking. It's just the end result or what you want at the end is different. Internal networking is very important. These people above you and around you are going to review you, decide on your bonus, might be of helpful nature in the future, and are people that you're going to be around as long as you work at that place. People like to work with people they like. And I know earlier I said, don't be a snake, but also very important to expand your network as you go. Reach out to your alumni, talk to people that you know mutually, ask them, what do you do for a living? Just because a person is a banker or an engineer or a doctor doesn't mean what you can learn from them is limited to their professional scope. You can learn cooking from a doctor. You can learn rock climbing from a lawyer. You can learn how to make YouTube videos from a banker. Number 6, eat healthy. I don't know what other commentary I need to provide for this point. This isn't just to look good, it's to have stamina and be happy. Recently, eating my mom's food 3 meals a day made me realize how much of a difference it makes to eat healthy and not eat Taco Bell and Panda Express every day. Awesome fast food restaurants though. Eat healthy. For the output to be good, the input has to also be, well, the output would then be eat healthy. Number 7, every moment may not be an opportunity, but any moment may be an opportunity. Should be a poet. This kind of ties into the networking thing a little bit, but any moment to prove yourself, give it 100%. It might be the most minute thing. Writing an email, sending out a calendar invite, reserving a room. You might think, no one's gonna remember this. This is so dumb. It's not only about accomplishing that, but the other end of not doing it well will also provide a negative aspect to your career and life. It's very hard to build trust, but it's very easy to crumble it. Give every single thing 100%, then there's no room for them to pick out anything and have it be any less than 100%. Do I do this? No. No normal, if any human being can give 100% in everything they do. But whenever you feel like you're a little off that day, or you're lazy and you're wondering, what is this gonna do for my life? Turn this back on and think, you know what? This might be my life-changing moment. This video might go viral and I might hit 100,000 subscribers. Did you guys know that there was actually tape called duct tape? Number 8, there's no benefit from worrying about what is coming. Clarification. You should always be prepared for the worst, but living in constant fear and anxiety over what may go wrong is not going to do you any good. Do the prep work and be ready for something bad. Expect Tesla's stock to fall, but you have to be able to enjoy the moment and not constantly think about what if the world falls apart tomorrow. Maybe not the best thing to say given the current circumstances. I did this for a while and it did nothing but drive me insane. Focus on the moment. Don't let the possibility of something going wrong drive you crazy. There's just an equal amount of possibility that things will go great. This video is gonna hit 1 million views. Probably not. Definitely not. Number 9, don't waste pockets of time. There's some things that I like to do during my pockets of time. A little disclaimer, these are relatively new components of my lifestyle. I could already see my friends roasting me in the comments. You've never done that. I'm becoming better at this. Read. I have a book with you that you can always fall back to if you have time. I've been reading this book recently. It just talks about inclusive and extractive institutions. I'm an intellectual. Have a hobby like YouTube. Download Duolingo. This is not a sponsorship. Learn a language on the side. Learn coding. Call, FaceTime your parents or your grandparents or your siblings. It's also important to rest, but don't spend 5 hours watching YouTube and starting at coronavirus update video from President Trump and then end at bunny eating carrot at 3 times speed. Number 10, decide if money is important for you. Maybe this should have been an earlier point because I think this is pretty important for If money is less important to you, you can pursue other things that money isn't the big thing for. Granted, it's harder to think about this when you're young because you don't have a family to support. If over and over again you feel like money is not that big of a factor for you, career choices become easier, life choices become easier. Number 11, nothing goes according to plan because I decided on 10 things to share and now this is number 11. I think most Americans would agree 2 months ago, maybe even a month ago, no one would have thought that a majority of this country would be required to stay at home and there would be lines out the door, people spaced out by 6 feet waiting for toilet paper. That is a very drastic example. I am a huge believer in no coincidences. Things happen for a reason. This is not to be corny. When you're faced with a life critical moment that completely shatters what you thought was going to happen, and you go to what you believe is an alternate route, maybe a lesser route, it's fine. There's been a lot of these Instagram challenges where you challenge someone to do push-ups or to draw a potato or a carrot, or these selfies to spread positivity. Hot take, think they're kind of dumb, but I also understand people are bored. And then I kind of fell in, and I recently did a thing where I drew my friends who replied to a story because I think I'm an artist now. As you guys could tell from my previous couple videos, I am definitely going insane from staying inside. Keep washing those hands. Don't look at the stock market. It's going to drive you crazy.